Today, I want to tell you an inspiring story about a person who embodied the American dream. That person is Andrew Carnegie, one of the most successful and wealthy individuals in history. How did a boy born into poverty become the richest man in the world? Let's find out. Andrew Carnegie was born in 1835 in Scotland. At the age of 12, he and his parents had to move to the United States in search of a better life. But they encountered poverty and difficulties. They settled in Pittsburgh, an industrial city, where he began his journey to success. To help his family, young Andrew started working in the factory, but the working conditions, they were extremely harsh, and he physically struggled with some tasks. Eventually, he decided to get a job with a railroad company. The conditions in the new company were not much better, but despite all the hardships, he managed to earn some money to support his family. His salary at the time was about $2 per week. Young Carnegie was not only ambitious but also an avid reader. Books provided him with a significant part of his education and remained invaluable as he quickly climbed the career ladder. Thomas Scott, Carnegie's boss, closely observed his drive to achieve unprecedented heights. He later initiated Carnegie's first investment when he alerted Carnegie's family about the upcoming sale of 10 shares of the Adams Express Company. By mortgaging their house, Carnegie's mother received $500 to purchase the shares, and soon the dividends started flowing. Being involved with the railroad, Carnegie's developed a wide range of other business interests. One day, the renowned inventor Theodore Woodruff approached him with the idea of creating sleeping cars for railroads, offering him a stake in the Woodruff Sleeping Car Company. Carnegie obtained a bank loan to accept Woodruff's proposal. In the end, he bought out the company, which introduced the first successful sleeping car in the United States. Carnegie did not stop at that and increasingly invested his wealth in other companies, while establishing lucrative partnerships with other prominent individuals of the time. As a result, he became the owner of controlling stakes in several different companies. In addition to sleeping cars, he owned a portion of Keystone, several stone mills, and an oil company. Using steel as the foundation, Carnegie decided to consolidate his holding through the vertical integration. During a trip to Europe to raise capital through the sale of bonds to European investors, Carnegie noticed that the demand for steel was growing and could surpass the demand for iron. He changed his strategy and in 1873 began focusing on stone mills. Carnegie and his partners focused on building new mills with modern innovations that could outperform competitors. During this period, Carnegie established two fundamental business principles that guided him. Profits will take care of themselves if expenses are carefully controlled. Talented managers are worth more than the factories they manage. His factories operated more efficiently than those of his competitors, which put him in the best position when the economy experienced a 6-year downturn in 1873. He also acquired competing factories and companies at other levels of production, rebuilding old mills to modern standards. When the economy recovered, he once again outperformed the remaining competitors. It is also worth mentioning that Carnegie devoted a significant amount of time to writing and philanthropy. In 1889, he wrote an article titled The Gospel of Wealth, in which he stated that the life of an industrialist should consist of two phases: accumulating as much wealth as possible in the first phase and then giving it back for the benefit of society in the second phase. For this reason, from 1901 until his death in 1919, Carnegie donated billions of dollars in today's equivalent. Perhaps knowing how difficult it was to access books in his youth, he financed over 2,500 public libraries in the United States and abroad, and all of them carried the name Carnegie. While most people may know little about Andrew Carnegie, his name is known in many major cities in the United States. A young man who arrived in America in the mid-1800s eventually became one of the country's largest representatives in the steel industry, making significant investments and acquisitions. So how did he manage to amass such a fortune? His foresight allowed him to diversify his holdings in many industrial sectors, including steel production, railroads, and carriages. Additionally, Carnegie left behind a philanthropic legacy, donating a tremendous amount of his wealth of various causes, including an attempt to end the First World War. Andrew employed strategic investments and partnerships, which allowed him to gain controlling shares in various companies and diversify his holdings. He also focused on expanding production, including the construction of new facilities, using innovative methods to surpass his competitors. All the experience and skills Andrew acquired through years of hard work helped him manage his wealth wisely. His drive to provide for his family ultimately became his fuel, giving him inexhaustible energy. His love for books helped him acquire theoretical knowledge, which he astutely applied in practice. Thanks to all these qualities and ambitions, Andrew became one of the wealthiest individuals in the world, a figure still discussed to this day.